Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 11th episode of the Mosk Pod. After our 10th, now we're at the 11th. We're just rolling on about three shows left, I think. We're doing well here, just rolling along as we keep going throughout these weeks. We got NBA updates, MLB updates, college hoop updates, and really other news. But really, I'm wide awake and ready to get the show on the road. So hope you take the ride along with me as we go through all these news. I do have quite a bit to share because of hockey playoffs too, actually. Basketball playoffs, obviously, and then MLB keeps rolling along in the fourth week now. So we are really going to get into that today. So I did want to start with um the hockey playoffs today because they did start yesterday. Only a few teams played. It was uh, it highlights of the Islanders played the Hurricanes, the Carolina Hurricanes, and as I did predict that the Islanders will not beat the Hurricanes in the in the series. That game one went exactly the way I thought. 2-1 Hurricanes. It's pretty much going to be like that every game, probably. As the Islanders do have the way worse record. Congrats that they did make the actual hockey playoffs. Because that was one of the last games, and they clinched on their last day. So congrats to them. That made all the New York sports teams, the New Jersey sports teams, if you want to add the Devils, they all made it. So congrats to that, and they all have a chance, obviously, in the playoffs. So with the Devils, they play actually the Rangers, which is pretty funny. They play tonight at 7 o'clock. Make sure to check that out. And they'll keep rolling from there as they go game by game. I did have the Devils over the Rangers. As I saw in the standings, I just saw that the Devils had a much better season, but the Rangers had a good season themselves as they picked it up of late. So we'll see what happens in the hockey playoffs as I will be checking out the scores. I don't know if I'll be watching every game because I'm not the biggest hockey fan, but boy, these times in hockey do get very exciting, very like you know, uh, competitive, I would say. And it's fun to watch sometimes, I guess. Even if you're not a hockey fan, the atmosphere is more of what I look for. The fans going like berserk for a goal. Um, it's gonna be funny. In New York, especially when they play tonight, so it'll be good. Good atmosphere there. For the NBA, man, two nights ago it was. I saw three of the four games. It was like back to back, back to back to back. It was started at 3 o'clock. All the games ended by like 1 or 1:30 in the morning. Really late. I did stay up to watch all of them because I'm a big NBA fan. Probably too much of one. I do really get into that stuff. So I did watch the teams like Celtics, Hawks, the Heat actually beat the number one seed Bucks, but Giannis was out the whole time. That's scary, by the way. If he can't come back, I think the Heat do have a legitimate chance of moving on after that game one win. And they lost Tyler Hero, who's going to be out for a little because he had the broken hand. That's going to be an issue for a while, probably, I would think. And the Heat have to overcome that with Butler, Adebayo. I don't know. Strus had that good game in the play-in with 30 something. So those three. I don't know if they could do it themselves, but they have a legitimate chance. Bucks, Milton, Holiday, really all. I don't know. Their backups are okay, but it's not anything crazy or to write about. So, that series is going to be very interesting, and we'll have to watch like every game how it winds down. If Antetokounmpo, man, I even have trouble saying his name. By the way, I can spell it for you. It's Antetokounmpo, and I just know that from saying it a lot of times, and it goes in a flow every time. Hopefully you learned a lesson there, but I did want to watch every game. So if Giannis comes back, if he can stay healthy, that would be incredible because he has not looked too healthy on the floor so far in these playoffs. That after just one game, he got hurt a few times and then finally had to come out. So and then with Hero, same situation, but he did break his hand, so uh, it might be a while. Uh, we'll see if Milwaukee can rebound from game one. Uh, one of one of the only times, well, I have seen an 8 be a 1, but one of the only times they have a legitimate chance as the 8th seed to be a 1 seed, so that would be cool. Same thing with the Lakers, and I wrote down here the Grizzlies as a number 2 seed. I don't see them as a number 2 seed like ever. And it's incredible that they did make it to the number 2 seed, but really I don't think they have the and you can tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think they have the all-around talent to be a number 2 seed. John Morant's incredible. To me, he's pretty inconsistent sometimes. Uh, like every other player. So, Bane is, you know, just there. He's okay. He could score quite a bit in a row. Brooks is really like just the definition of overrated. He gets into fights, he gets into, you know, all the brawls and stuff, and it's kind of worthless sometimes. He did get a lot of technicals this season in result, and probably deserved it. Really overrated though. I don't like his jump shot at all. He sometimes makes it, but it's so ugly looking. I just can't stand watching that all the time. But the Grizzlies, man, they they lost that game. Really sad. The Lakers pulled it out. Russell Hachimura off the bench from the Wizards came to the Lakers, got 20. LeBron did his usual thing. Davis was a little off, but did some things. Other players like Reeves towards the end and all that helped the Lakers win over the number 2 seed. So I think the Lakers can go on a run like the TNT crew said in their predictions. I think the Lakers can move on. It might take like 5 or 6 games, maybe 6 because 5 is a little short. They only lose one, and from there, we'll see. Actually, if the Grizzlies don't win tonight, I think it is, then the Lakers have a legitimate chance to end the series pretty soon. So we'll see what happens with that. No one wants to face the Lakers. I don't like them, but they are scary good sometimes and scary bad sometimes. So you really don't want to face them. With the Knicks Cavs series, man, the Knicks really pulled it off, huh? As I predicted with Vincenzo earlier in this podcast career a few weeks ago, we predicted the Knicks to make it past a first round. We didn't know it would be the Cavs. We did know it would be like the fifth, maybe sixth seed. They did reach the fifth seed and clinch the fifth seed pretty soon after that. And then, from there, they really were hot, and their whole roster is back now. Brunson is playing the best basketball of his career still. Randall is, just there. He can pick it up some nights he's off. Barrett, been a little down lately. Robinson's defense rebounding has always been there, and that's the key to the Knicks, as we've discussed before. But that's really going to be what makes it turn around and helps them to possibly beat the Cavs in uh, probably 7, if we're being honest. We'll see who performs well in that 7th game, but I predict it going 7. just because of how competitive it is from the Cavs' point of view and the Knicks' point of view. Uh, they really go at it, kind of like the Kings Warriors series, and the Kings pulled it out very tight in the end, both at home. So the Warriors now go home where they're very good, but very bad on the road. They'll have to win one to move on. So on the road, and Sacramento, that crowd is going nuts because it's the first time since 2006 they made the playoffs, and actually are headed probably to win the series. They lost in the first round in 2006, so that would be new this year if they win. They're up 2-0. They just need two more. And, from there, we'll see. The playoffs have been really promising so far. Even the Suns Clippers, the Clippers pulling out as the underdogs. Uh, everyone stayed on the court really, except for PG-13, which is huge for the Clippers, and they still won that first game versus the Suns. I still think the Suns will pull out this series, but the Clippers really showed a lot in that first game with Leonard. Really other performance. Powell showed up a little bit. They have people who can get it done. So it will be a very competitive series, but I do have the Suns coming out in six. Yeah, so right down in six Suns. Moving on, I do have the Western Conference Finals predictions too. But before I get to that, I did want to mention that the Nuggets and T-Wolves, actually that's another series. So the Nuggets are the number one seed, the Timberwolves are the eighth seed. So the Nuggets really poured it on. No upset there. Not even close. They poured it on by 30 at points, which is like one of the largest for playoffs. Um, Winning by 30, having a lead by 30 most of the game. Just incredible stuff. Murray got it going. Jokic wasn't on his complete masterclass game, but yeah, Murray, Brown, Porter, everyone stepped up. Caldwell Pope too. Yeah, really, just everyone stepping up is really the key to that game. And if Jokic wasn't on, he'll be on this game too. So we'll see what happens with that. I think the Nuggets will sweep the Timberwolves easily. Probably another 20, 30 point blowout again. Especially that it's in Denver for this game, and then the next two are in Minnesota, where Nuggets are good on the road. They're a first place team for a reason, so they're good on the road. They're good at home. What else can you ask for versus number 8 seed who's up and down right now with injuries, a lot of dumb injuries like punching a wall and just breaking a hand, doing mistakes. And then the Gobert situation, he's back, but he's not. I don't think he was everything they traded away for. Maybe we thought he was when the trade happened, but right now it's not looking good. I know the Jazz did not make the playoffs, which the Timberwolves probably feel good about because Gobert and that situation. He did make the playoffs with the Timberwolves, and the Jazz didn't make it. So in that way, maybe the Jazz, rather the Timberwolves feel good about that. But a scene did take place at the end of that game where it was Anderson versus Braun, this young, like 20-year-old rookie. Um, they went at it, and then threw a little punch, and it broke out from there. Nuggets fans got all hyped afterward because it did go on that Anderson guy. Kyle Anderson for the Timberwolves, and Brown backed up right away, so he didn't get a T. But it was a good amount of going at it in that. But ultimately, Denver fans was happy because nothing like no result in Timberwolves' favor because they did get a T and Denver didn't get anything, so no punishment there or anything. So they got the free throws. He made one or two, and it was 30-point game, so it really didn't matter at that point. That's why some of the Timberwolves, especially Anderson, was getting a little aggravated. It's going to be hard for them this series. It was always going to be hard, and it showed in game one. So that's all I could say about that. In the Western Conference Finals, I do have the Nuggets making it versus the Phoenix Suns. If the Suns can pull it out versus the Clippers, they can pull it out versus anyone. Saying that though, I don't know. This could be Denver's year. We always say that, and then Denver falls out second round or first round even. They're not going to fall out the first round. Let's just say that. They're going to sweep probably. And Denver has a very good team. They compete with anyone, beat anyone. So on a given day, I have Denver in 7 because it's going to be a competitive series if they face the Suns, which I have them doing. And KD versus Jokic, Booker versus Murray, and then the depth. I like the depth of Denver more, just because of the star power and the grittiness they have. I think Phoenix has more stars, but not the type of fight that Denver will put on you. So, and the altitude in Denver does play a role. So we'll have to see about that too. The Nuggets or Suns, that would be an incredible series. As I said, the matchups all around. I do have Denver in 7 again, just because of their competitiveness and grittiness on the court. Their connection is very good too, as we saw in Game 1. So Denver's looking very good there. In the Eastern Conference Finals predictions, the other side, going to the finals versus Denver. Not sure with Giannis's injury, so I'm going to not put the Bucks in the finals. I am going to have the Celtics. They're playing the Hawks right now. They beat them easily in game 1. Score doesn't tell it because it was only a 10-point game, but they beat them easily, the Hawks. The Celtics beat the Hawks. And the Cavs, right now, I have moving into the finals, the Eastern Conference Finals, just because the Knicks is a competitive series. If they can move past them, again, they can beat anyone, and compete with the Celtics. We'll see if the Cavs do move on because they lost game 1 by 4, and it was a competitive game. I felt like both teams played a very good game, and game 2 is going to be even better. And this is going to be ongoing for the rest of the playoffs. Really, whoever moves on, I think, can make a big run. So I had the Cavs in 6 again, versus the Knicks. Sorry, versus the Knicks. And then when they played the Celtics, I do have the Celtics moving on in 6. Because the Cavs can be competitive with Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, their two centers, and Allen and Mobley. And then they have a okay bench. It's not great. It's not the Celtics bench. The Celtics have the bench, which is probably why, if we're being honest, they will take it in 6. Just because they have the edge in bench. Their stars are incredible. Tatum, Brown, Horford, White, Williams, at the center, and all of them can push it over the hump, probably get to the finals, have a good chance at that, and play Denver, where I have Denver in 7, maybe. It can go either way, but right now Denver looked better in game 1 versus their opponent than the Celtics did versus the Hawks. But I think the Celtics will figure it out as the playoffs move on. It's really which team is hot, which team finds their rhythm early in this playoffs, and then late in how they're doing in a result. So we'll see what happens there. My predictions is Denver in 7 over the Celtics. That would mean they have to win on the road one because Celtics do have the better record as the 2 seed, actually, in the East. So the 2 seed and the 1 seed in the West have gone at it in the finals. So we have a little news about the Knicks. Again, they've been hot. I just wanted to get a deep dive on the Knicks because I talked about Barrett, Randall, all that, but Robinson, I really can't say enough. Robinson is the difference maker. Mitchell Robinson, the 7 footer on the Knicks, he rebounds like crazy. He blocks like crazy. It's the key to how the Knicks do. And if he continues to play crazy basketball, rebounding, all he does really uh, is on the court, and he shows so much passion for the game. It really determines what the Knicks will do, and he will be the difference maker. He might be the true MVP if I'm being honest. And not in shots made, but in defense, obviously, and block shots and rebounds. That's a key part of the game right there. That's two key parts versus the scoring, which is one key part. So he does a ton of work there, and that will determine the how the Knicks do. So then for the Nets, I wanted to deep dive because I haven't gotten into their series yet. The Nets played the 76ers game 2. After game 1, they lost by 20. Played a pretty good game, actually. Competitive until then. Sixers pulled it out. Embiid, Harris, Maxey, Harden. Harden was the key to that game with all the threes he made, 7 of them it was. Uh, he didn't score as much in game 2 as the Nets fell by 10 or something. A much more competitive game, more well played defensive wise. Offense was really bad at the end. I was crying to just have them make a shot just to show me something. They really missed like 10 threes in a row at the end after making like their, like, I don't know, like 7 to 13 at the beginning. It was all Johnson in the first half, which, you knew he'd tire out in the second half. But he's a good player. He scored 20 in the first half, made most of his threes, gave it out to Finney Smith once, made a three. Bridges was a little off this game. Hopefully, he can pick it up at home behind the Brooklyn Bridges crowd cheering Brooklyn Bridges and all that. And really, I hope they can perform well at home. Take care of their home court, win both games. I want them to win both games because they can be competitive in Philly and maybe steal one, but I still have us getting swept. And I think it's a real good chance of us getting swept. So my prediction may be right. As a Nets fan, it hurts to say, but we will be swept. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll update you again as we keep going throughout these shows. I think we have 3 left this semester, and next semester I may continue just because I'm a senior doing stuff, but I'll have an opening at 1 hour of the day, so I'll keep you updated with that too. But right now, we're going to focus on the MLB world because, moving on from the NBA, you could talk about, or I could talk about all day, but I do need to move on to other stuff because I have a lot to talk about today. But the Mets, I'll start with the Mets. The record this week was pretty good. They now won 5 in a row because they won the last game of the Padres series where they took 2 out of 1, which was key there because the Padres very good, can pick it up at any point with their um, like best offense in baseball probably, or will be at some point. Glad they got them early when they were, you know, mediocre team, I would say, because they will pick it up. And if you play them in the middle of the season when they pick it up, watch out because they got they got everything filled from 1 through 9. So with that, yeah, just glad the Mets got them early. Took advantage for sure, getting to a one, and moved on to Oakland, going to the West Coast, and they swept Oakland, which I predicted they should have done, and they did. They took advantage. 3-14 or something. Oakland, worst team in baseball for sure. Uh, really just nothing else to say because they make with Oakland, they always make the wrong moves, and their prospects don't do anything. They give up their all-star type players like I had written down Chapman, right? The amazing all-star caliber third baseman, now in Toronto, where they love him. He's doing great. Olson's doing great in Atlanta as a first baseman. He was great with Oakland. Moved on to Atlanta. They let him walk, or they traded him away. Sorry. And Sean Murphy recently, again, they reunited in Atlanta, Olson and Murphy. So all star caliber catcher moved from Oakland to Atlanta. Uh, making a difference already for the Braves. Uh, as the Braves again are good right now, like every season now. Uh, like the second or third best record in baseball, and it was pitchers like Irvin, Manaya, Bassett, Montas. All them were really really good, all star caliber there too. Going to different teams, one on the Blue Jays, Padres, or now the Giants is Manaya. Montas still with the Yankees, not pitching this season, so I guess that doesn't make a difference. But Irvin with Baltimore, and really just giving away everything that you have. Uh, you don't want to be rebuilding every year, so you have to stick with someone. I don't know if like Shea or they're backing up on Shea Langoliers or something. He's not going to turn your franchise around. He's he's all right, but I don't know. The whole team overall is not good at all. Uh, I guess their best player is Ramon Liriano or something, which is not no name. It's pretty bad. Their pitching, I can't even say who four of their five stars are, so by name. And really it's just not good vibes down there. They get like probably a few hundred fans. The stadium's empty every time they play a home game. More Mets fans than Oakland fans were there, and really not good signs for Oakland anytime soon. Uh, so really, I just from that series there were a couple of great moments. Alonso hit his eighth home run of the season, league leading eighth by one over a few people. Really good start for him. Got a few hits yesterday in the first game. The Mets win versus the Dodgers. Dodgers not as good, still very good though. Very good win. Just not as good as they used to be with Turner gone. Both Turners actually, Justin and Trey. Trey going to the Phillies, Justin going to the Red Sox, performing well for their teams. Uh, and results haven't been the best for their teams, but really the Dodgers did lose a lot of star power there. They're 2 and 3 or 4 hitters in the lineup. So really, I had to replace with trades that they made: Martinez, JD, Miguel Rojas, David Peralta, all them. Really not as good, but still very good. Freddie Freeman's carrying them. He had 2 home runs, a few RBIs yesterday, over 300 batting average. Really good stuff from him. Really carrying them. Again, the Mets, we got in the Oakland, we had a 7 RBI game by Lindor, a grand slam. It was highlighted by. With the rest of that series, we had a incredible few diving catches by Nemo, 2 in one game actually, saving the game. because if he dropped it or let go, the A's would have won that last game. So he gave the Mets a chance, and they scored, and in extra innings, and Oakland couldn't bounce back from that. And that was key because Nemo saved the game again. He two impossible catches that he made look routine or very hard, but routine for him. So he made one in Dodgers, the final out, Dodger Stadium. Nemo going back to the wall, and then he made the catch at the wall, jumping. Probably hurting his back. He didn't show any signs of injury, but really with him, it was just going back, making another terrific play. It was on the run, so again, it could have hurt, but he made a terrific play, saved the game, won the game right there for the Mets, and now the Mets are 11-6 and rolling. Yankees are 10-6 right now as well, or one game, less. 10-6 now. Stanton hitting bombs still. Judge, building off that 2 home run game. Now still getting it going. Volpe's been good. Got his first home run that last week, and more hits, stolen bases, everything for him. He's been lighting it up, performing to his hype and all that. Other players picking it up. Torres still. Uh, Pitching, we had Cole with a shutout game, 2-hit shutout. Really incredible stuff. He went all 9 innings, complete game, and good vibes for him. 4-0, really helping the Yankees out there. And with Mets, they had good performances by Scherzer, Buto, all that. Robertson's been very good out of the bullpen. Bullpen overall has been very surprisingly good for the Mets. They've been able to hold down leads. Maybe one earned run per game by the bullpen, but really hasn't been that way of late. They've been dominant enough to get the job done. Robinson, like I said, Brooks Raley's been all right. Adam Ottavino, everything with that. Robinson been replacing Diaz well. You can't replace who Diaz is as a closer, but Robertson's been doing pretty damn good there. And we have I did write down 9 teams for some reason. I don't ask me why, but I did want to do power rankings and I couldn't get 10 teams. I just knew 9 teams off my head. Just wanted to do it without looking it up. So uh, just to just to prove I'm doing a little math here. But I did want to do it in my head. With the ninth place, I do have the Mets, 11-6 now. Like the Yankees, 10-6, sort of same sort of season. Tied with Toronto, but Toronto's going to be a little further down the list because of the teams they played so far. Mets just swept the worst team in baseball. Like I said, Oakland. No promise for them, or they're not showing anything anytime soon. So the Mets 9 seed, just like that. Played easy teams so far. Marlins, Oakland. Uh, their only competitive series was the Padres series, and now the Dodgers, but they just started that, so I have them there. The Pirates, really same as D-backs, which I'm going to get into. Actually, there's 7 seed the Diamondbacks, but for the Pirates, they played sort of mediocre teams, but they've been performing better than I thought they would. So they're at the 8 seed. Diamondbacks performing very well. First place in the NL West. Very surprising early start. Walker, Pavin Smith, other players, veterans like Longoria can help. Really, they're young stars too. Everyone's getting it going. Diamondbacks looking good early. Sixth spot, Rangers. We expected the Rangers to get hot at some point. They've been pretty good all season. Semien, very good start. Seager is out. Their pitching is great with DeGrom. Heaney, Evaldi, Gray, all them. Uh, will they be able to keep it up? Probably not. But for now, very good start for them as wrote as an advertisement, right? Their offense is very good and their pitching is very good, so great recipe there. I don't know about their bullpen too much, but great start for them. Brewers, just the surprise is real because we thought they'd go downhill, and they're going uphill, only uphill. They're young. They're young players again. Garrett Mitchell. They have a few other guys getting it going. Christian Yelich has to get it going because he has a lot of strikeouts, not showing much there. Really, he's been terrible after his MVP season in 2018. Last 3 seasons, 4 seasons actually, have been really bad, really downhill. But Brewers have a very good record, getting their wins that they need to, surprisingly early in the NL Central. The lead over the Pirates, the Cardinals even are performing pretty badly right now. So the Brewers taking advantage. Very surprising start early. Um, sort of like I said earlier, the Blue Jays been playing some very competitive baseball. I've seen a lot of offense. Pitching has been a little downhill, but the offense has picked it up, and they score like 10 runs per game some nights, or most nights, and they've been playing some competitive teams. So really, good start for them, as well as the Yankees, which we have in third. Uh, Again, not lost the series until that Twin Series last game. So very good start for them. Cole, good start. Torres, Stanton, Judge, all good starts. LeMahieu's been doing his thing, and really, the Yankees can get it going from Rizzo and other players. Maybe kind of Falefa has a role. Um, I don't see him as a future shortstop for them though. Trevino, Volpe again can be the guy around for 20 or 25 years. Really might be able to carry this team as a franchise, keep their success going. But great start for the Yankees, 10-6. Can't say much more. Uh, can't forget about the Braves, number two. The Braves, really incredible start. Strider's been working hard out there. The the bats have been coming alive. Acuna, great start. Olson, great start. Riley, great start. Everyone else, great start. Arcia, even their newbies, Sean Murphy, might get it going soon. Has been getting going a little of late. Got his first home run the other day. A little struggle for him, but really it doesn't matter. The Braves are just incredible right now. Can't say much else. They're winning every game. Number one, obviously the Rays. They did lose three of four late before we came on the show. So the Rays were on that 12-0 win streak, 13-0 even, and they lost 3 of 4 recently. You can't overtake the Rays yet because of 3 losses. 14 or yeah, 12-0 and then 14 or 15-3 or something like that. Their record is just insane. They'll keep winning games. I don't have a problem with them losing 3 early right now. And yeah, their offense, their pitching, insane on both sides. Uh, 3 losses again. Not going to take them at first yet. It's going to be hard too. 6 worst teams. I'll just go over it really quick. The White Sox, Nationals, Kansas City Royals, Tigers, even the Phillies and Oakland at number 1 as the worst team. At same reason as I explained before versus the Mets. Oakland's been doing that versus every team. Iona transfers really quick here. As my last topic, really, and then I'll hit up on news as we wrap up soon. But Nelly Junior Joseph for the men's team headed to New Mexico a few weeks ago now. It's just forgot to update you, but he's headed to New Mexico with brother of, or not brother, the son of Rick Pitino is Richard Pitino. So Richard Pitino is going to be coaching Nelly Junior Joseph. New Mexico is a great franchise down there. Great season last season. So New Mexico is going to be better with him. Hopefully, he can do well under the atmosphere there. Pretty crazy down there. Uh, Patino will love him because he's a hard worker. Uh, Probably can improve, but very talented guy coming out of Nigeria, the NBA Academy School, all that, the university, and really recently we had Walter Clayton coming to Florida. I think that was last week, right after we left the show. So he's going to Florida uh, to play for them, the Gators, and you know, very talented team. I think that's his home area, so he's going back home, playing under his local team, and they'll have a very good season. They'll love him. He's a great guy, probably NBA worthy in the future. Uh, we hope. Very good point guard and all that. Danius Jenkins went to St. John's to join Rick Pitino. I almost got the Richard Rick confused. I'm sure I'm not alone. But yes, Rick Pitino has Danius Jenkins joining him, DJ. Um, and again, just wanted to wish him the best because again, he changed this franchise this season alone. Really made us better in every single way. Love the logo of him going to St. John's in that subway station with SJU, the initials, right in front of the subway station. So really good stuff there. Hope he does well in St. John's. I know the team's going to be very good down there, especially after getting that UConn player and adding in Cruz Davis, our last guy, freshman who was on the portal, and he committed to St. John's. Don't know what else to say, but the Iona, most of the Iona team is headed to St. John's to join Rick Pitino and Nelly Walter going their places. Going to be very competitive this season. I look forward to what they will be able to do. And I hope we, as Iona, the Gales, can acquire new, um, players. Maybe FDU. I don't know if that will change our culture, but Coach Anderson will definitely do the best he can. I've seen him around like every day now. It's crazy. Maybe in the future I can get him on the show. It would be crazy. With the athletes, though, they have very busy schedules, and it's been very hard to actually get them on the show. So I do not know if they will be on the show. I don't think so as of now. I might get them in like a one-on-one kind of talk with me, but it won't be on this podcast. I'll make sure to send the link to most of you that I know, for sure, because I do want you guys to see some content of that because that would be cool. I will get on my game next semester when I continue my show, just so I can get whoever I can on early before season start and I have time to think it out. So, really a first start at this show that I didn't do the best at preparing, maybe. So we'll have more guests hopefully next semester as we wind down this semester. Um, Again, just highlighting Grizzlies not a great 2 seed versus the Lakers. I have the Lakers moving on. Warriors Kings has been as advertised. Very good series. Kings taking the first 2 games. Westbrook was involved in a controversial thing of a little fight at the end. Um, you know, he talked, and you know, the Suns took exception and started going at it. Um, but we'll see what Westbrook gets for that for starting it, and it's kind of a Westbrook move I've seen a lot of times in his career. He made a great play at the end, though, throwing it off Booker when Booker was just trying to argue. Should have been playing the game. Should have gotten the ball. and that was the game right there. So Clippers took that game on fighting their way to that victory. So yeah, that's all I wanted to hit up on today. Really good stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed um a lot of this content. Really good time in sports again. As we do wind down this semester, I want to hear your thoughts on episodes from the past. This episode especially. As yeah, this was the 11th episode. We move on to the 12th next week. Schedule 9 a.m. start. We hope to see you all there. Make sure to comment, subscribe, and like this content. So really, yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Love you all. Thank you for all your support as always. And we look forward to continuing with all you. So have a great day. Enjoy the weather and everything.